Getting my first feature animation job was a big deal for me because I had always wanted to work in movies. And when I started animation, that was the goal. That was always the goal, and I would always apply to feature animation studios, and I would always get rejected. Until in 2020, I applied to Sony's The Sea Beast, and I got it, and that was awesome. That was an amazing moment for me because that was always the goal, but two, it just took a lot longer than I thought it would. I had been working in TV series and commercial animations for about 4 years. And the whole time I was trying to get to feature. The whole time I was working 8 hours a day on my animation job. And then I would work another 4 hours on my personal shots to get better and better. And just having all of that work pay off to get my first featured gig, that was really gratifying. That was really cool. And so, yeah, I know there's a lot of people out there that's in that situation where you're working in commercials or TV or any other type of animation job and you want to get into movies, but you have not been successful at those applications. And the question back then that I had was, what kind of demo reel do I need to get me this movie job? You know, like I had no idea, just because I would keep applying with all these different types of demo reels and I would never get the job, right? And yeah, in this video, I want to answer that question, at least for me. This is the demo reel that got me my first feature animation job on Sony's The Sea Beast back in 2020. It's got me my foot in the door for features, and it really is true what they say. Like, when you get your foot in the door for your first feature animation job, that's the hardest one to get, but after that, it gets a lot easier to get more feature animation jobs. And so this really opened the door for my career on Sony's The Sea Beast back in 2020. Thanks to Josh Beveridge for hiring me. Thank you, Josh. Yeah, let's get into that demo reel. But first, my name is Peter Dang, and I'm a feature animator at the Walt Disney Animation Studios here in Vancouver, and I'm having a great time, and I'm here probably because of The Sea Beast. We just wrapped on Zootopia 2, so go watch that this Thanksgiving. It's a really funny movie. So a little bit of context for this demo reel that you're about to watch. This is back in 2020. This is random clips from a lot of my TV series and commercial work. And so it features very, very little like feature acting. And basically the majority of it is body mechanics and action animations, because that's the kind of stuff that I was working on, but it's also the stuff that I like. So I really like action and body mechanics and sort of the gritty physicality of all of that. And yeah, this demo reel, I remember making it. I remember having my friend watch it and editing it for me. And I'm proud of a bunch of these shots, but they definitely need more polish, and I have some thoughts on it. So let's get into that demo reel.
Worry about yourself.
Okay, either I am losing it or you are upset about something. So, what are you upset about?
Speaking of East, if you told me she was an 18-year-old with daddy issues, I'd believe it. She's a rebellious, competitive punk with a nifty little power that gives her super speed and incredibly high marks. But
Okay, so that was the demo reel that got me my first feature animation job on Jacob and the Sea Beast at Sony. And watching it now, years later, and after having worked on several different feature animation movies, I'm kind of surprised I was hired. Because it's 55 seconds of action animation and 5 seconds of dialogue, which quite frankly wasn't really that good. But hey, Josh took a chance on me. Thank you, Josh. And I think this is a prime example of tailoring your demo reel to the project that you are applying for. Jacob and the Sea Beast was a very physical and realistic project that stuff on my demo reel here actually really transfers to that project style. And so yeah, I had gotten a lot of physical shots on Jacob and the Sea Beast. A lot of people falling down, getting up, some crowd stuff, just a lot of physical acting, which honestly was what this demo reel was. At the time, I remember this was my best. This was the best that I could do at the time. I remember thinking, yeah, this physicality is awesome. And some of it really is, but it's lacking a lot of polish that I would expect for a feature animation. But I think that some of the timing and some of the ideas in it, I still really like, actually. I still really like some of the physical choices that I made. It just doesn't look polished. But let's get into it. I'm gonna go ahead and mute this. Oh, this was Red versus Blue 0. And yeah, this is all hand key animation here. Let me see, I'm gonna bracket that. I always like that little spin that guy did. Yeah, this is basically me taking my reference one for one and doing all the physical bits myself. And I think it could be pushed. It's just very realistic. It could almost be like motion capture, really. And I just wasn't thinking about the posing, and I didn't really vary up the timing very much. I think the timing is too realistic, which it works, but it could be better. A lot of kicks. So this shot here, this is from Genlock. This is Cammy. She's supposed to be this like 30-foot robot that's falling from an airplane going into battle, but she's a bit of a klutz. She's kind of clumsy. Like, this is kind of in the beginning of the story where they're getting used to piloting these robots. And this was honestly a animation shot that stayed on my demo reel for like even years after Jacob and the Sea Beast, just because people loved this shot, and I wouldn't know why. Because when I worked on it, I just straight aheaded animation. I basically had no reference, just because I wasn't able to take reference for this type of animation shot. And so I kind of just felt it out. So I just kind of felt out the physicality of it and where the weight shifts would be. And this is the shot I think that also got me hired on Thor Love and Thunder as well, because the supervisor was asking me about this particular shot. He was like, hey, how did you do it? And I was like, straight ahead animation, like no reference. And he was very impressed with that, because apparently it's difficult to animate people falling, animate people off balance and slipping and falling. And honestly, if I had to recreate this today, I'm not sure I would be able to do it, just because I was just acting on instinct, and it just really worked out super well, and people really liked this shot. So I honestly think that, yes, even though this needs a little bit more polish, I think all of the really big physicality movements are in there that I wouldn't change at all, just because it works really well for the storytelling, slipping, catching herself pose of it all. I like this shot. I really like this shot still. Let's see, what else we got? Can skip this one. This one's basically a continuation of the first shots. What I do like about this shot, though, in particular, is just how physical these characters interact with the world. I think that's always been something that I really enjoyed. I would always look at the sets that I have, and I would always think, what props can I interact with? Where can this character roll? Where can this character interact with another character? And even though it's not that much interaction, I just feel like it lends itself to that physical believability of the world, of just rolling around and, you know, using the box, shifting the weight of the box so that it falls over like that. Yeah, RVB0 was honestly really fun to work on, just because Tori, my supervisor at the time, allowed me to just really be free and do whatever physical coolness that I wanted to. And yeah, I like the shots. I like the cami shot a little bit better, but this shot also has a lot of cool stuff working for it. This right here is Ruby. Of all the shots on my reel, I'd say this one is the one that's not the best. Just because the physicality isn't as good, and also the acting and the facial animation is also not good. I think that I just didn't have as much of a command at feature facial acting, and so these faces, I don't know, they're all splining kind of at the same rates. They're not very appealing. And even the physicality, I don't really believe it. Yeah, these were really fun characters to work on though. I just think that the animation could be more smooth. I could have stronger poses, better timing. Just everything could be better about that. This shot is the only dialogue shot in the entire demo reel. I think it could be pushed. I think it could be better. I think I don't like the cloth sim. The cloth sim is really distracting. I would recommend everybody not to do any cloth sims in their demo reel shots, just because if you're an animator, you just want them to focus on the animation, and likely your cloth sim, it's not going to be that good and it's going to be distracting. So yeah, I think this t-shirt, it's not really bending like a t-shirt. It's unnecessary, I think. But in terms of what she's doing and the weight shift, I think that it works, but it's just not really a good choice. I don't really know why she's doing any of that. It doesn't look bad, but I have just learned that choices are the biggest thing for feature animation. If you make good choices, your animation will look good. If you make bad choices, even though your animation is good, it's just going to be something about it that's off, and it's not going to be true to the character. So yeah, I think CBB could be better. Here's a guy turning into a brick. I think that's all I really need to say about that shot. No, this was for like a really quick online competition that I did, where you had to showcase a person with a strange superpower, and this is what I did. These faces are not animated at all, which kind of bothers me, and this guy's kind of stiff the way he's running. Yeah. This here is Genlock once again, and I like some of the poses that I have. I actually just think that certain things are too big. Like Cammy's reaction to Green One, her reaction to like being surprised is way too big. I was reacting to that earlier. It's just not clear that she's either slipping or reacting to it. Yeah. I like this pose. I like that pose. Val's pose is kind of boring, the purple one. All in all, I don't think I made good choices. I think the physicality is right. Just not good enough poses. Sorry, not good enough choices. And this is the last shot on my reel. Also, there's my email. Do not email me, please. Just kidding, you can email me, but why would you? So this here is probably my favorite shots on the demo reel, just because choreographing 3 people fighting is always very difficult. And I think at the time I managed to be able to make good choices such that it was clear what was happening. Like, you kind of know where to look, and everything kind of happens like one after another. So you're not really confused as to what's happening. I think that's the physicality of, what's her name? FaZe. Climbing on the back of the robot and then flipping down. Like, I think that physicality works really well. Again, I could polish this, but I think I got really decent and clear posing for what's happening. And this was just really fun to animate and to come up with, to choreograph. I did my own camera as well. Yeah, just good timing. I think good timing, good clarity. This one, and it's a pretty difficult shot to do when you have all that physicality and 3 people fighting. One of them is climbing on top of the other. Clarity is the name of the game when it comes to action stuff like this. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this shot. Yeah, so that's the demo reel. Oops. That there is the demo reel that got me my animation job on Sony's The Sea Beast. Because of all of that physicality, I will say that looking at it now, it makes sense that Jacob in The Sea Beast was my first feature animation job, because my demo reel is already tailored to that realistic type of animation. I will say that it's too realistic right now for me. Maybe my sensibilities have changed, but now when I look at feature animation, physicality, it's a lot more pushed. There's more appeal. There's more choices being made as to like which frames you want to stay on longer. And I think, yeah, I'm liking that type of physical animation. Some of the stuff I've been doing on Moana or Zootopia too, like I feel like more appealing with physicality right now in my career, which is really good, because that's kind of the stuff that leans more towards like Kung Fu Panda and some of the How to Train Your Dragon stuff that I grew up on. So yeah, it's a pretty fun demo reel, and I'm glad that Josh took a chance on me. Thank you again, Josh. I appreciate it. It really jump-started my career. Like, it jump-started feature animation for me, because once feature animation studios know that you've worked at other features, I think they're more likely to hire you for sure, just because it's a specific type of job, and it is a job that's different from TV series and commercial work. Like, it really is a different job. And yeah, if you're out there and you're trying to apply to feature, just know that what you're practicing in TV is not going to translate to feature. You have to practice feature level stuff to get a feature level job. When I started on The Sea Beast, I thought that I was better than I actually was. And I was coming in kind of with a chip on my shoulder, thinking like, oh, I'm better than a junior animator at a feature level job because I have all this experience working in TV. And I remember being humbled very quickly. I luckily had a really great lead, Martin's son. He is literally one of the best physical action type of animators that I know. And I'm working with him now at Disney. And yeah, he just showed me a lot of the ropes of like physicality and appeal. It opened me up to like a whole nother level of animation, and it just really opened my eyes to be able to judge myself, gauge my ability more accurately. And I just was not operating at the feature level just because I wasn't used to it. Like, I wasn't working in feature, I was working in TV series. And like I said, they're different jobs. Once you start working in feature, then you kind of get the hang of it, and you work differently, and then you think differently. And so, yeah, getting my first feature job on The Sea Beast truly changed the trajectory of my career. And if that's you out there trying to get your first feature job, seriously, it's possible. Like, do it. Like, get some online animation mentorship from a feature animator, and they will show you like how to get your stuff better. Like, it will open your eyes. It works. So yeah, that's the demo reel that got me my first feature animation job, and because of that demo reel, I am where I am now at Disney, which is kind of crazy, which I'm still trying to learn as much as I can here, because I feel like I'm in a whole nother level of animation, and I'm working with very talented, some of the best animators in the entire world here. So yeah, I'm rambling. Oh well, that's the video. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm gonna make more animation videos, hopefully to help people like see what it's like in the industry. I don't really want to teach animation. I kind of just want to talk about my animation experience. So thanks for being here. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Hey, if you enjoyed that video, I've got 2 more here. One of them is how to interview for animation studios. And I've got another one here about animation opportunities are like the bus. Click on one of them if you want. That'd be cool.